here comes the girl of the hour. Let's see. Oh, there's so much in her habitat for her to go see. Hello, everyone. It's Tammy out here doing the live post, aka Sanctuary Stroll. But of course, I wanted to stop by Girl Nova here today because we have some news to share on Nova. Nova's life was much different than what you see today. And you know, we talk about miracle matches during Miracle Match, not only about the cats that we create companionship for, but sometimes the sanctuary is the miracle match for the cat. And that was the case here with Nova. So if you guys remember, Nova came in through our amnesty program, and it was interesting because a lot of people assumed that Nova had just been surrendered by an individual. Are you chuffing at your ball? By an individual who had a pet tiger. And the reason she came in through our amnesty program was about her protection and about the sanctuaries always putting the cat's needs first. And connect again, Nova, is that Nova actually was not surrendered. Nova, who's hopefully you guys can see, I know the internet keeps going out and out, but Nova here, what I wanted to kind of talk about is miracle. TWS is her miracle match and was her miracle match. So Nova was actually a very famous in the headlines quite frequently. Actually, the Department of Justice and Firearms Squad and others had actually gone upon a house for a warrant. And in that was not only firearms, explosives, but it was a felony warrant. And they found Tiger Cub Nova there. This person is also a famous person and known as an artist around the country, especially in where Nova came from. And so her seizure and the kind of warrant hit national news. It was on CNN, it was in USA Today, and at that time we were given full custody of Nova, unlike our witness protections cats, because part of the plea deal was the offender had to turn over and sign over Nova. It was also illegal, so the chance of him actually keeping any type of custody of her was zero. And so we took Nova into our amnesty program, and even though we could have really ridden the headlines and got a lot of exposure for our sanctuary because of Nova's rescue, we chose to be silent. And the reason we did that is for her safety. Obviously, when animals are seized, especially from very dangerous situations, emotions are high. People want their cat, they love their cat, they've paid a lot of money for their cat, and we didn't want to really instigate the issues any further. We wanted to focus on Nova's life, Nova adjusting to life at the sanctuary, and Nova living wild at heart. And so it wasn't until over a year later that we feel comfortable enough to share a little bit more about her story. And the reason it's so important is you guys know, when you donate to the sanctuary, we are always putting the needs of the cats first, even if that means less donations, less headlines, less sensationalism. It's always about the animals. And because you support us during times like Miracle Match, you always allow us to make and so Miracle Match, make it possible. You make Nova being safe here at the sanctuary. Many a times when cubs are seized, there's a lot more going on than just private ownership of a cub. There's a lot more legal activities, and we always want to make sure the sanctuary, our staff, the residents, and the cats are safe. But more importantly, it's always thinking ahead, and it's always thinking ahead of what the cat needs at the moment, whether they need peace and quiet, whether they need a lot of attention, whether they need time to decompress. Nova obviously was a young cub and therefore adjusted quite quickly. She's investigating every part of her habitat right now. And during Miracle Match, you've helped us make so many miracles happen, and you'll continue to do so. We'll be sharing more about a really important miracle that you can help support for the remainder of the triple match. And so many of you have donated to Miracle Match. Thank you. And the triple match is now through April 30th. And so if you haven't given or want to stretch and give a little more, now's a great time to do so, where your gift goes 3 times as far for the cats. Hi, Nova. Yeah, people are saying they remember her transport. So here at the sanctuary, you know, I was one that went to get Nova. And so that rescue was actually a pretty interesting rescue, right? For quite a few reasons. Not only was Nova bouncing around her transport kennel so much with that red egg she had that we had to strap her down even in the vehicle. She was having so much fun. We also remember didn't come home alone, did we, Nova? We picked up a stray dog that was loose on the highway, named Karma, then changed to Lena, and has a very wonderful adoptive family, where obviously Nova stayed here at the sanctuary. And so Nova cats, especially Indy, we'll see if we can. Nova, she's definitely exploring every inch of her habitat, knowing that caretakers always leave a lot of goodies after she's been locked in. But the interesting thing is, not only is the Wildcat Sanctuary a miracle match for Nova, because we were able to make sure she was here safely for a year, you know, before we announced her true story, but we're hoping for a miracle match with her and Dash. As we do big cat moves over the summer, Dash and her will be on a shared wall, and we'll be able to see what they think of each other. So far, they've been getting along on the hallway wall. But again, Dash cares way more about the people when they're near. But right now, let's see if we can see Dash next door. Yep, he sees that she just threw her watermelon on the ground. And she's gonna go throw her ball, I bet, on the ground too. So if you're just joining us, we're here at the Sanctuary Stroll today talking about Nova's background story. So most of you already get the e-newsletter, but we wanted to kind of share a very special story that really encompasses what the Wildcat Sanctuary is all about and what you help us always do, and that is put the needs of every cat first. And so Nova here is just been a happy tiger, and I'm so glad authorities intervened at a young age before she could have metabolic bone disease, or that she could have been sold or traded or confined to a small cage. We're so thankful when the government intervenes. Even though she wasn't expected on the seizure, they were looking for guns, weapons, and explosives. We are more and more often, authorities are finding tiger cubs during non-related police raids. Sorry about all the fence, guys. I'm just trying to make sure we can see what she's doing. Wow, that was a good jump. That was a good jump, Nova. I can see Alyssa next door. I'm going to try and move again to see if we can keep getting our service back. Dash. Let's look over here. Dash is not too interested, but definitely. If you're just joining us, sorry, we're going to go say hi to Dash real quick too. See if we, Hi, Dash. We were just talking about Dash had an exam earlier this week because he is missing some fur on his nose. Hi. And he's got a little bump on his nose. Now, he's always had a wide nose. Dash, thanks for rubbing. Come here. But we learned he's just rubbing along the fence with Paulina next door. Yeah, he's just going to rub back and forth. Dash, come here. Dash, don't do that. Dash is trying to get my attention. Hey, handsome. Well, let's go see Nova over here. You have my attention, Dash. So Nova, it's just wonderful to see a relaxing tiger like Nova during Miracle Match. Hi, did we get a chuff? Miracle Match is when your gift goes 3 times as far, and we have until April 30th to get your donations tripled. Let's see, Miss Nova.